Hello everybody, this is Alan with HeadphoneReviewHQ.com, and today I'm bringing you a review of the Fiio E12 Mont Blanc audiophile grade portable headphone amplifier. And here I'm just going to give you a look at the overall device. You can see down there there's a reset button. I have no idea what it's used for because there's not that many functions to mess with on this. Now here on the front, this is where all the magic happens. Over here you've got the volume knob, which is just beautifully done. It's got a nice solid feel and a good grip. Here you have the power indicator. This is your charging indicator, your headphone output, and your source input. On this side you have the bass boost, easy enough, on or off, and you have a micro USB charging cable. Now here I just want to show you some of the detail that they've done on it. You can see the nice finish, and here they've got the recessed screws, so if you want to take it apart, it's on you. Over here you have your decibel gain. I have it set to 10. I mean, pretty much that's where I would keep it. And here's the crossfeed. This is an interesting feature. So the crossfeed is useful for old recordings where they had instruments completely separated in left and right channels, and this will try and mix it into a stereo feed. So, interesting feature. I haven't needed it, but there it is. And again, here I'm showing you just the nice control. When it turns on, it clicks on like a home stereo amplifier. You'll actually hear it click. I don't know, it's a neat feeling. And again, just look at the fit on this, the finish on this. It's beautiful. I mean, as you rotate it around, you can see they've got the beveled edges. They've got the brushed look. I mean, it's a solid device. It's not the lightest thing ever, but I'm pretty sure it'll last a long time. So here I show the charging. There's your indicator. It's plugged up through micro USB, and you can charge and play. I will tell you this, if you plug up to a dirty USB connection, you will hear it when you're listening. So I would not recommend so much doing the charge and play. Charge it up and play it. So here you can see that I have my iPhone 4 set at 50% volume, and it's going out the headphone jack. And the reason I want to do this is because I know one of the big questions I'm going to get is, should I upgrade from my E17 or my E11 or whatever the case may be. So here I have the Fiio E12, the Mont Blanc, the Fiio E17, and the E11. And what I'm going to demonstrate here is the actual power comparison between the three amplifiers, and just give a quick overview of what they sound like through the headphone jack. Here you can see I'm hooking up to the Fiio E12. I have it on the 10 decibel gain, which is the highest, and turned up, this thing is easily 20% louder than the other two amps. On the E17, I have it on the 12 decibel gain setting, and it's 20% quieter than the E12. And over here on the E11, I have it on the high gain setting, and it's about the equivalent of the E17. So that wraps that portion up. Now here what you're seeing is I'm going to hook up the L9 so I can get a true line out from the iPhone 4, and that way when I'm hooking up to the amplifier, I'm not amping an already amped signal coming out of the phone. Now here you'll see that I'm using the Grotto SR80s to actually test out these amplifiers and compare them. And the reason I use the Grottos are because I find that these headphones are so incredibly sensitive to different amplification, different EQing. They really pick up the subtle nuances and changes from one device to another when you're using different pieces of equipment. Starting off with the Mont Blanc, this thing sounds absolutely amazing. It made these SR80s open up and brought them to a level that I had forgotten they had. I mean, I'll probably end up using these more again. The type of sound that you get out of the Mont Blanc is it's really a full-bodied approach. You get that bass presence that's not overpowering but is super detailed, and you get all the little fluctuations in the frequencies all the way through the mid-range and the treble. I listened to a lot of Alison Krauss and Nickel Creek basically because I wanted to hear what the voices and the instrumentation sounded like, the separation, the ambiance that they present. And honestly, the E12 lives up to its name. It is a true audiophile sounding device. Now, with that in mind, I don't know whether it's actually just bringing out more of the quality of the sound coming out of the iPhone here, but it really does step up its game, and it's a truly wonderful listening experience. Now, comparing that to the Fiio E17, the E17 also sounds wonderful. Again, it's about 20% less powerful than the E12, but what it does is it brings in more of an airy type approach. So you get a little bit more detail in the upper mid range to treble, and depending on your set of headphones, that might be a welcome addition. So you lose a little bit of that bass and that lower mid range and maybe even mid range detail, or you don't lose it, but it's a little bit more laid back, and it does sound wonderful, but it is a different sound signature. And then getting to the Fiio E11, it's about the same as far as power as the E17, but I find that it has probably the most neutral approach to the sound of the three, as in it sounded very similar to what just coming straight out of the iPhone did. So if you're looking to keep your headphones sounding almost identical, then maybe that's the choice. So that brings up my last point here. I had all these set on no EQ and on the highest gain. Now, when you start getting into the different EQ settings on these various amplifiers, that's where you'll have to start deciding which one you'd rather go after. The E12's bass boost is very minimal. It is made to just bring it up a touch and not much at all. It's very unintrusive to the rest of the mid-range and any of the other frequency band, and it is just a small, maybe 1 to 2 decibel gain. It is nothing major. So let's get into the EQ on the Fiio E11. You have EQ1 and EQ2, which are really just 2 levels of bass boost. EQ1 easily doubles the bass boost on the E12, and it's probably about a 3 or 4 decibel gain. And it stays fairly isolated into the bass regions. It can really bring a nice boost to a set of headphones like the M50s if you want to step it up so you can listen to some hip hop or R&B or something like that. Now, when you get into EQ2, a lot of the headphones will turn muddy because they just can't take the increase in the decibels on the bass. Now let's get into the Fiio E17. This one's a little bit different than the other two because this one has independent bass and treble controls. I actually prefer the bass controls on the E11 and the E12 because they provide a smoother frequency band than what the E17 does. The E17 seems to give it like a pretty hard boost, and it can distort on some things and just not sound quite as clean. Have a lot more control, and depending on the headphones, if they can handle it, then they can put out a ridiculous amount of bass. But then you also have the ability to EQ the treble up and down, which is a beautiful thing. So wrapping up my thoughts on the Fiio E12, is this a worthy upgrade to the E17 or the E11? My answer has to be absolutely, but it depends on what you're looking for. If you are into the true audiophile grade sound that this amplifier can provide, then do it. This is something that if you hook up to a set of Beyerdynamic DT 880 or 990 premiums, it'll make these things sing. Again, with my grottos, it just brought those things to life. I mean, it's going to make me put those back on and listen to them quite a bit more. And the power that it provides, it can power headphones that are 300 ohms and under, which is amazing for a portable device. And I haven't even started on the battery life. I ran this thing all day, and it still had some power to spare. So this thing will hold a charge, and that was after not having charged it for a little over a week. So it's just a phenomenal device, and one that I can absolutely recommend. If it weren't for the noise when you charge and play, I would probably give this device a 10 out of 10. I'll probably give it a 9.5. I still think you're going to be hard-pressed to find another device anywhere near this price that has this type of audiophile performance. It truly is a masterpiece. This has been Alan with HeadphoneReviewHQ.com. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Fiio E12 Mont Blanc headphone amplifier. It's now the amp that I pull out of my bag anytime I go to hook up a set of headphones, so that should tell you a little something. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you plan on buying these, please do use my affiliate link in the description, as that'll help me bring you more of these reviews in the future so I can help you figure out where to spend your hard-earned money. And also, go check me out on Facebook. I have a link in the description as well. I've been updating that quite a bit more frequently, and that's kind of where I give you what's going on and what's coming up next. So I've got several more reviews coming your way, so subscribe today. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.